What is going on, everybody? We are back with another review, and this time we're reviewing Season 1, Episode 20 of Alfred Hitchcock Presents, and the episode is called And So Died Riabouchinska. This does put us over halfway through the series. There's 39 episodes, or not series, to the season. There's 39 episodes. This was episode 20. We're over halfway there, which is so cool. Yeah, it is. I'm super stoked to be this far into it. So this episode was directed by Robert Stevenson. The story was written by Ray Bradbury. Teleplay was done by Mel Dinelli. Claude Rains was John Fabian, and Charles Bronson was Detective Krovich. And this episode released February 12th, 1956. So this is basically, you have a main ventriloquist who has a dummy, and before we get there, there's this guy that runs this club, and I believe it's his daughter, are betting on something, and he flips a coin and it rolls down the stairs, and as it rolls down the stairs, it seems to land upon a dead body of somebody named Arkham. The only reason I remember Arkham's name is because as a Batman fan, Arkham Asylum, except it's spelled like Occam, Ockham or something like that. It's really weird. Also, by the way, Claire Carlton played Alice Fabian. Lowell Gilmore was Mel Douglas. Charlie Cantor was Xander. Iris Adrian was Macy. Harry Tyler was Dan Silver. Bill Hod was one of the stagehands, and Virginia Gregg was the voice of Riabouchinska. So, anyways, they find a dead body. Police come. They start questioning people. Eventually, it makes its way to the actual ventriloquist, and they start to ask him, and the dude's like, I don't know who Arkham is. So they do at that point. They bring back in the butler or the driver, his personal driver or something like that, and they start asking him. During all of this, the dummy starts talking, and the dummy comes out, and the dummy says that they need to ask the driver or whatever, and he comes in, and at this point, it's revealed that the ventriloquist knew that his wife was cheating on him with the driver butler person, but that was the end of that. Like, it didn't that wasn't a part of really anything going on. So then you move down some time later on, and the detective comes and visits the ventriloquist a few times, and each time he's trying to get the ventriloquist to admit that he knew who Occam or whatever his name is, and the ventriloquist keeps denying it. And eventually the cop meets up with one of the guys, the guy that runs the club. And he gives this media portfolio thing of Occam's to him. So he takes it, and he rushes back to the room to confront the ventriloquist and say, hey, you did know Occam. He was on the same bill as you out back in New York when you were using the male dummy before. Pretty William or something like that. I don't remember what his name was. And basically, Sweet William, that's the dummy's name. What it comes down to in the end is he finally admits through Riabouchinska that he killed Occam because Occam threatened to expose him and Riabouchinska's love affair to the world unless he received $1,000. He tried to blackmail him, so he killed him. But at this point, Riabouchinska says that she can no longer exist and love the main guy because he killed somebody, and she would never be about that. And at that point, like, her voice fades into a tiny something, and then it's just gone. And at that point, he drops the dummy, and the cop takes him to jail. And listen. The first episode that I recorded tonight was the one before this one, as far as this show's concerned. It was called The Derelicts, okay? And The Derelicts was okay. It was a good story. It's just not my kind of story. And that's why it got ranked lower. This gets ranked lower because of dumb. This whole, I almost got away with it, but my dummy gave me away shtick is stupid. like, he's so racked with guilt that he snitches on himself through his dummy, even though they're trying to play into it like, oh, the dummy might be possessed. It might actually have the spirit of Riabouchinska in it because, she disappeared. Nobody knows what happened to her or whatever. And, like, there's a part where it actually gets really sweet because, like, he designed this doll based off of a woman that he was in love with that used to be his stagehand. And it was like, okay, this is kind of cool. But the moment, like, Riabouchinska, the dummy, snitches on him and gets him to confess his... Like, I was like, I'm done. This is so... I hate the end of this. Now, this is going to be towards the bottom of my list overall whenever we get to the end of this season, just so you know. It's definitely not at the bottom because there's far worse episodes. This had so much going for it and gave me a Twilight Zone style of ending that I hated. Like, do you know how many episodes of Twilight Zone we watched? And I got to the end of it and was like, could have been good. It could have been good. So that's where we're at with that. I really hope this gets better soon because we got another 19 more episodes of this. And I don't know, man. I've run into a couple, like, I'm struggling recording these because I get so irritated. Like, I watch a show like Too Twisted, and what you guys don't understand is I'm watching that at the same time I'm watching this, and every time I'm on Too Twisted, I'm excited. I sit down and I'm super stoked, and every single episode of Too Twisted has been great so far, every story that we've covered, and I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. But since I alternate nights that I do it, the next night I'm like, oh, it's Alfred Hitchcock. Maybe I could do this in a couple of days since I'm far enough ahead. And then I miss a day, like on Christmas. Like, I would have had something on Christmas, but I just did not want to record Alfred Hitchcock. And I don't know. I just want it to be better, man. It's the same struggle I'm running into with the Twilight Zone. Like, I love anthology horror. Do not get me wrong. Like, I can sit down and watch Tales from the Crypt, episode 1 to episode however many there were through all 7-8 seasons that there are, and not have one of them that I hate. That might be a lie. I think there's one or two that I'm not a big fan of. But even still, you're talking about a bunch of episodes of that. I could sit here and watch Are You Afraid of the Dark, Goosebumps, Monsters... Are you Tales of the Dark Side? Tales from the Dark Side. Like, there's so many of these shows that I absolutely love, and these are like the originators of anthology horror. And I know it's also suspense. It's not just horror. Like, there wasn't like true horror in the sense that we have horror now back in the 50s, 60s. At least not like it is now, right? So I get that. But like, even the twist endings, like the dude snitching on himself, like, that's just, come on. I hate it. So anyways, there's my rant. Love you guys. And we'll see you next time. Peace.